Jam. Toon Jam. Hello and welcome once again to Toon Jam. I am Matt.
And I'm J-Man.
And today we have started a new odyssey. Oh, that's my little odyssey introduction there. Hope you like that.
That was good.
And we are going through, after our MTV trudge, we have decided to visit Adult Swim cartoons. So the channel, and formerly a block, if I'm correct, on Cartoon Network, a programming block, it is now a channel. Fun stuff. So first episode we are doing is Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah.
And you may have seen this already. It's quite old now. I believe it first aired in 2000. Fun stuff. So a little bit of information about Aqua Teen Hunger Force. It is an American adult animated television series created by Dave Willis and Matt Maiellaro. Is that right?
Yeah, Maiellaro or something like that.
Yeah. For Cartoon Network's late night programming block, Adult Swim. It is about the surreal adventures and antics of three anthropomorphic fast food items, Master Shake, Frylock, and Meatwad, who live together as roommates and frequently interact with their human next-door neighbor, Carl
Brutananadluski. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very complex. I imagine that's the joke.
Yeah.
It's that you can't pronounce his name. It was created, fun fact, as a spin-off series of Space Ghost Coast to Coast. The announced pilot episode, Rabot, which is the one that we watch, aired on Cartoon Network on December 30, 2000. The series later made its official debut on Adult Swim on September 9th, 2001. Ooh, blimmin' heck.
Waited like a whole year.
Yeah. Every episode was written and directed by Willis and Maiellaro, who also provided several voices. Seasons 8 to 11 were each given a different alternative title, accompanied by a different theme music joke.
Yeah.
The series ended on August 30th, 2015, with a total of 139 episodes over the course of 11 seasons. Aqua Teen Hunger Force : movie film for theatres. A film adaptation of the series was released in theatres on April 13th, 2007. The first adaptation of an Adult Swim series into a feature-length film. The series airs in broadcast syndication outside of the United States, such as here, has been released on various DVD sets and other forms of home media, including video on demand streaming. It was the longest running Adult Swim series until it was surpassed recently by The Venture Bros and Robot Chicken. So some fun facts there. And another fun fact to accompany it, to follow that Space Ghost theme, the three main characters originally featured in an episode of Space Ghost Coast to Coast called Baffler Meal, where they were corporate mascots for the fictional fast food chain's Burger Trench. The original versions of the trio were prototypes that resemble the future characters, but both Master Shake and Frylock differed in appearance, personality, and voice from their ultimate design. The original name Teen Hunger Force refers to the squad's mission to conquer hunger in teens. So there you go, and you can find the original versions of them online or in that episode of Space Ghost Coast to Coast. They look quite different, except for Meatwad, who is pretty much the same. Just doesn't look as happy.
Yeah,
Frylock really does look the worst, the most different. Yeah, he's so happy and without a beat. But yeah, there you go. So some background. There was games of it, video games,
Yeah.
all sorts. It's pretty
Quite a
big
popular
franchise for Adult Swim.
Mm.
But I would also say one that's it's not their biggest franchise
No.
in a way. It's not the most popular, should I say?
No, it's no Robot Chicken in comparison, or Rick and Morty, for example.
I mean, that's the one that everyone knows, isn't it?
Yeah. It's weird how Adult Swim works though, because they do get those like as they go through new shows, like one will really kick off, and then that will be like the thing for a while, won't it? And then sort of dies down as the seasons progress, and everyone waits for like a new thing, because they're all quite different. As the thing about
definitely.
Adult Swim. Like they have such a range. I mean, a lot of it, the humor is kind of, I guess you could say, similar, but I mean, it's not really. But they're sort of looking for the same audience, aren't they?
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you find one of them funny, you probably will find the others funny.
Mm.
But it's not the same.
No.
It's in the same sort of wheelhouse, but a different product.
Yeah, and so you can really like have a dramatic change in pace and tone with going from one show to the other.
Yeah.
But I think Aqua Teen is I think that's kind of like the benchmark for their level of absurdity, and like sort of like how much they lean into it in cases.
Yeah.
It's so nonsensical. It's just ridiculous.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've not seen much of it. You've watched it quite a lot, haven't you?
Yeah, I've seen all 11 seasons of it. So
yeah.
And I've seen the movie as well. I used to have the movie, and it's all just the same nonsense. Like it gets really comfy after like the first season. You're like, yeah, I know what I'm in for now.
Yeah.
But it's just so it's like one of those things that you kind of, it's like a joke you have with your friends, and then somebody made a series about it, and then it just kept going. It just never stopped.
Yeah. Did you know there's been a sequel in the works for the film?
Really?
Yeah, because it called Death Fighter.
All right.
So it's been in production for a while. They've just struggled to find a distributor, I think.
Right.
They've later gone on to say that it would cost $3.4 million to produce, and expressed interest in doing a Kickstarter to fund it. But that was in 2014, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
It could have easily fallen to the wayside by now.
Yeah.
Another fun fact: the pilot episode originally aired in 2000. Obviously, it was part of a special preview of upcoming Adult Swim shows. So I'm guessing this was early on. Obviously, we had Space Ghost was really the first Adult Swim, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
And then after that, so this block included Sea Lab 2021, The Brack Show, and Harvey Birdman, Eternia, and this, of course.
Yeah.
So these are all the sort of first generation of Adult Swim cartoons.
Yeah.
So when you think it's been around for for 20 years.
And also that essentially it's basically the continuation of Hanna-Barbera in that sense.
Yeah.
If most of them are all like spin-offs or use characters from the shows, because I'm sure I want to say Space Ghost has been in Aqua Teen
yes.
as well.
Yeah, well, Space Ghost is definitely. Well, I mean, they've been in that, so he must have been in that as well.
Yeah, I think I know the guy that voiced him has been in a few episodes, as himself as well. So that's pretty funny. But yeah, it's kind of weird. Like the 21st century Hanna-Barbera is like Adult Swim now. It's like it's evolved into this, which is so strange.
Well, it is interesting because this has really filled the gap. I mean, there's only really sort of Scooby-Doo they kept making new ones of, isn't there?
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else. I might be wrong. If you can think of anything else, please let us know. But I think Scooby-Doo's the only one that's really carried on, and I guess that's what they're doing with this new film that we've been. I suppose it was supposed to come out this year, but who knows when it'll come out. Scoob,
yeah.
That's supposed to open up a Hanna-Barbera universe,
Right.
but I suppose they've not really touched a lot of their properties outside of Adult Swim in so long, and that's what they've done. I mean, even in the comics, they've just let people go crazy with their products, haven't they?
Yeah.
I don't know if I like it particularly. I know with the comics they're not a big fan of it.
Right.
But I think it makes sense to do, doesn't it? Because it's carrying on it's carrying the torch for a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. It seems like the logical thing to do, almost like once sort of like your fan bases and whatever, and the creators have all changed. Like, why not let them have a go at, what you had? Because I mean, the fact is, like, you can't imagine that like anyone that's sort of watching like animation and stuff at the minute like hasn't been influenced in some way by those Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Yeah, definitely.
So
and when it's Hanna-Barbera are Cartoon Network, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's not like actually Hanna-Barbera have disappeared.
No, they've just
a lot of their old properties they've not been carried forward with the times.
Yeah.
But in saying that, I can kind of see why they might want to hold on to stuff, especially with, like, obviously nostalgia is always massive. But you look at Scooby-Doo and how, kids still watch it today.
Yeah.
There's a lot of their properties that could still be, carried forward. But then I guess when we've watched them all, like in our Patreon episodes, we watched Flintstones.
Yeah.
You can see that show isn't just for kids.
No.
And not that it's like, raunchy in any way, but it's clearly marketed to the whole family, which is partially, I guess, why it's not always relevant to kids, because it makes adults laugh as well.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess this is the next evolution of like most kids probably won't get much of this at all.
Well, I mean, a lot of this, it's silly, but
it is silly, yeah.
You could like a kid could watch at least the episode we watched of Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah.
They don't swear or anything in it, do they?
They not in this one, I don't think they did, but they do in later episodes, but it's bleeped out most of the time, I think.
Well, you could easily do it like a show without swearing.
Yeah.
And, because I look at Space Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
We watched that when we were kids, didn't we?
So, yeah, definitely.
And I don't remember it being particularly like I would have been told off for watching it.
Yeah, I think that's sort of like the next level of Adult Swim, isn't it? That they sort of like they go in the other direction and becoming like the complete opposite of kid friendly. Like most of them are trying to be,
I suppose it's in the name, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like, have sexual tones or be like over the top horrific or like whatever. So, whereas Aqua Teen is just kind of obscure.
Yeah, definitely. And
like,
it's just silly.
It is, yeah. Like the name alone doesn't even make sense because, I know in this episode they do the whole like get the cart out and like try and be detectives, but after like 3 episodes or something, they don't do any of that. It just disappears. Like
it's just
they keep the name, but there's absolutely nothing. Like hunger is the only thing in the title that sort of has any relevance.
And I think, but you kind of know it, don't you, when you're watching it, that it's a ridiculous name.
Yeah.
I take it Aqua just refers to the fact that they hang out in a pool.
Well, yeah, their next door neighbour's pool. It's not even theirs. That's I guess that's pretty much that. I don't really know how old they are. I think they're actually like really, really old.
Yeah.
So I think they're teens. Hunger, I guess, because they're made out of food, but they're not always eating themselves.
Yeah.
And they're not really a force of any kind. Frylock's the only one really with usable powers. Shake doesn't have any powers.
He has like all the powers going on, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He can do pretty much anything, so it's pretty. I suppose Meatwad can turn into like different things.
Yeah, but later on, he pretty much just only turns into an igloo or a hot dog.
What is interesting, I suppose, when you look at the other shows that they had when they started up, this is the only one with original characters in. Like the rest, like you say, are all old properties from Hanna-Barbera, whereas these were original Adult Swim characters.
That's it.
So, I mean, that could be one of the reasons they carried it forward so much.
Yeah.
It really was their creation.
That's it, because it's very much like, I guess from a marketing perspective and stuff as well. Like it's way better. Like when you see your characters, it's like that's the thing that you made. Like everyone identifies it with what it is that you're doing, as opposed to like you just put up like Fred Flintstone. It could be you just assume it's the Flintstones, but that it might be that one Harvey Birdman episode where he's in that. There's just all this lineage that goes with the characters, whereas Aqua Teen is like, oh yeah, it's those guys. Pretty iconic as well now because they're just weird food shapes.
It's strange, and it's strange as well when you look at the way the channel's gone. How much now is Hanna-Barbera properties, like classic Hanna-Barbera? Do they have any shows currently?
I'm not sure. I think a lot of them kind of went by the wayside. Like they've all just been like newer stuff that's kind of eked in. Because I think it seems like a lot of sort of indie animators and stuff and cartoonists like want to get in on the Adult Swim thing. So there's a lot of new ideas kind of seem to be floating about, and a lot of more original stuff going in. So I think that's more of what they show a programming now, and there's also live action as well. So they do a lot of that.
Well, that's something that obviously we're not going to probably watch any live action because it's Toon Jam. But it's something interesting that, as well, I guess if we kind of say now, we'll obviously see whether it raises in quality, dips, or is just consistent. What would you say that it's better now, or was it better when it started?
What, Adult Swim, you mean?
Yeah, content-wise.
I think it's hard to say because it does fluctuate depending on what shows are about. I think I liked the original lineup like quite a lot. They were all like those type of shows. They were all kind of odd in their own sort of unique way. Like now there's some new good stuff, but it's very it can be hit and miss. Like some shows are just like, I think they're kind of trying to be Adult Swim, if you know what I mean. But they're not really hitting the mark, whereas others are like genuinely pretty good. So I think
it'll be interesting because obviously we've just come off the back of MTV. We can see how the quality has like dipped and changed to the point that it doesn't exist anymore. The MTV that we knew. So it'll be interesting to see how Adult Swim has changed in relation.
That's it.
Obviously, it's different because Adult Swim is solely an animation channel. But as it's got bigger, it had to change. So I wonder if it's the same in this case too.
Maybe.
We'll see. I imagine obviously it's like I say, it's the same. It's a different format, so it's not music and stuff as well. So I imagine it's not going to be exactly the same, but it will be interesting either way as we go through the years. But yeah, Aqua Teen Hunger Force. As a show, just sort of concentrating on this for a moment. Like you say, it's absolutely ridiculous. And it's got the thing I really like when there's cartoons like this where they're really poorly made almost. Like the quality is really dodgy. And it's just like almost just things like the old South Park where it's just things moving slightly. That's and if they when he becomes a meat bridge at one point. Instead of turning back into a meatball, you just see him lift up and move away from the screen. He like edges off. and it's just stupid.
It's pretty good because like I mean the main sets and stuff, like outside Carl's house, inside their house, they all last for 11 seasons with virtually nothing changing.
Those classics, that's the thing, like classic 3D.
Yeah.
That was like old at the time.
Yeah.
But it works. And as well, am I right? Some of the the cities in it, are they from other cartoons?
They look like it, don't they? Yeah.
I'm sure one looks like it's from Batman.
It could be, yeah.
I'm sure it is. Obviously, Cartoon Network. Oh no, they didn't make Batman, did they? It's Warner Brothers. So
yeah.
Obviously, over here we had it on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, it all gets confusing over here because it's just all like slapped in the same thing.
It's all different rights and different nonsense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really fun. I think what this show did really well, which is often what we saw dips in on MTV, because it was kind of the prototype, if you will.
Yeah.
The dialogue is really good on this.
Oh yeah. You could just have these guys. I mean, literally most of the episodes are just these like in a room talking at each other, because you don't really see it so much in this episode. You do see a lot of Shake being annoyed with Meatwad, which is how it goes. Like their relationship is very strange. Like he's so aggressive, and Meatwad is so happy-go-lucky. And then in this one, Frylock's a bit like, it's like he's hypnotized or something. He just kind of goes along with whatever. But eventually he just kind of gets sick of them and then just gets bored and leaves most of the time, or just tries to like talk Shake out of being an idiot. And then there's Carl, who's just like aggressive and just hates living next to 3 giant food items.
Yeah, he was a great character.
Yeah.
In the opening episode. Like his car gets crushed by a giant rabbit robot. And he comes out and he's like, "Oh, what the frig? My car!" And then Shake's just like, "Oh, it looks saying something daft to him." Like, he's like, "Have you called the police or something?" And he's, "I've just seen it.
I just came out of my house right now."
And then he's like, they tried to send him to work.
Yeah.
What's that? They're trying to send him to work to get him away so they can solve the case.
Yeah.
He keeps saying he works from home, and he's just like floating around in this magic that.
Yeah, Frylock just lifts him up in his eye beams and drops him on his own roof.
Like breaks his back or something. Oh no, it's his ankle, isn't it?
It's his hip, I think. It's like, my hip.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, my hip.
Yeah, he does not have a good time there next to him.
No.
So,
all the voice acting was like spot on. Even the professor guy at the start.
Oh yeah, it's unfortunately he like disappears in later seasons, but he lasts for a good few. Dr. Weird and Steve.
It's like when he makes this giant robot rabbit, and then it's just hilarious because he just sprays perfume in his eyes. And he's like, "Now to spray him in the eyes with perfume, because that's what happened to me."
And then it leaves immediately out the hole. It like makes a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
And that hole stays there forever. Pretty much every episode, he has a new invention, and it flies out that same hole left by the rabbit.
Amazing.
It's so stupid. Like
it really is.
I do like nobody really does this in the sort of level that Aqua Teen does, where it's like they're literally almost making the episode up on the spot. It seems like I mean they're clearly not, because it's hilarious and it usually always comes to some stupid conclusion. But like it just feels like they're running with it. Yeah. And in just the stupidest of ways. And it's just really satisfying.
That's what's bizarre about it, isn't it? Like it's got that feeling, but it feels like it has direction at the same time. Yeah. It's like the closest you come to it in anything we've watched, I say, was Two Stupid Dogs.
Yeah.
Where that just felt like they were just slapping ideas together. But this felt more directed in a bizarre way that it should have felt more directed.
And it's still equally as absurd. Like there's just so many odd elements that you would. I think it's like the unpredictability of it, isn't it? Like you watch a Scooby-Doo episode and it's like, yeah, they're gonna go investigate, something's gonna go wrong. Like they're gonna have, a few chases through doorways, and then it's gonna be the guy that you saw at the start or whatever. Like, like you know what's coming. Whereas with Aquatine, it could literally go anywhere.
Yeah, and you don't know, you don't at all know. I think it's a weird thing that you just don't know what it's about. And it's almost like everything about it is perfect for not letting you know what it's about. The name doesn't give you any clues. The fact that they're, a milkshake, some fries, and a meatball. you just go along with anything.
That's it.
It's like, I don't know if it's clever or lucky.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But either way, it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like a magic trick in a way. It just kind of like misguides you over in one direction, and then just does something else while you're not looking, sort of thing. Right.
And it's crazy to think this is one of their first cartoons.
Yeah.
Like we've watched Space Ghost, which I think was their first cartoon, but I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to look at that. But we've watched Space Ghost. We've watched this. They're two at least very early ones.
Yeah. Two
of the first ones, and both are like really good quality. So it is you're off to a belting start, aren't you?
That's it. Yeah.
It's just mad.
This is definitely a show that I can't really think of anything else that sort of fills its gap of that sort of unpredictability and just oddball humor, and just the way that the episodes progress. There isn't anything that I can think of that really works in that kind of way, because even like Rick and Morty can get weird sometimes, but it's all kind of very related to the story. It's like it's usually like a clever sci-fi something or other, or a parody of a sci-fi or something.
Yes, yeah.
You can sort of see where it might go, at least. Whereas
you know what to expect in a weird way. You're getting those kind of episodes.
Yeah.
Whereas if you were to describe this to someone, how would you describe it? Like, what would you say it's about?
I really don't know. It's like,
could you just like, it's hard to say. It's like some fast food things. One has superpowers, and they just ridiculous. I don't know. Just watch it. It'd always end in, I don't know. Just watch it. You'll like it.
Yeah, because it's like, how would you write the synopsis for this show? Like, it's just like impossible. There's no two episodes are the same. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, if you showed someone like the first 5 minutes of it, and be like, right, what do you think happens? There's no way they'd predict what happened in the end.
No.
It just goes to the weirdest places. Like there's one where Shake's like trying to get revenge on Meatwad, and he ends up like dying and becoming part of like a video game, and so they end up getting like a weird witch doctor who works with like giant chickens to try and like summon him back from the dead. And it's like, how did you get there? Like, what led you there? I don't even know how they, like we were saying with Two Stupid Dogs, how it's like they just, like pick 3 random things and just they must just go there. But it's like Aquatine has like a pocket of something that's like nobody else has got, where it's like, where did that even come from? Like, I'm not even sure I could have come up with that, even if I'd been trying to be weird. Right. Which is,
It's definitely original. Like, there's nothing. You couldn't, even though it is in that vein, like all Adult Swim cartoons are.
Yeah.
And you can see, and you can see remnants of these kind of shows in MTVs, but it's definitely its own thing. No questions. All right. Well, then, shall we move on to our rating?
Yes. Hey, so we've got a great new show idea. It's great.
It's great. It's new. It's great.
It's about these 3 guys. Well, they're not really guys. They're
fast food. They're fast food.
Yeah, they don't make fast food. They are the food. There's a fries man, He's made out of fries, like a box, the red box of fries. And we got a ball, like a meat,
A
like
meatball, and of course a milkshake.
that's it, a shake. And they live in a house, and there's the door is the shape of the milkshake, so we can go
get
in
and out, no questions.
easy, in and out easy. And
They have a neighbor. They have a neighbor.
They have a neighbor called Carl, and he's got a pool.
They go in the pool.
They spend time in the pool. There's the dinghy, the rubber duck dinghy, the inflatables, and they kind of lounge in the pool, and they sunbathe in his backyard, not their backyard.
No. It's the neighbors. Did you mention the powers?
They have powers. They have the superpowers. They have forces. Well, one of them has powers. The fry box, and he's got the laser eyes. He shoots the beams from his eyeballs. He can lift people and make an explosion in a wall.
The meat can change into things.
He's a wad of meat. And he changes into a bridge, a circus man, an igloo.
It's good. Just watch it.
There's three. Yeah, just watch it.
Just go and watch it. You'll like it.
You love this. You love it. Just watch it. What do you think?
Just watch it.
No.
So, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Episode 1.
Rabot.
We're going into our ratings now. So, if you have tuned into Tooncast before, you will know. But if you haven't, you may not. We have a superb 3-point rating system, which goes as follows. Thumbs up, the neighbour's pool. Thumbs down, fast food in your pool. Shaky middle, storylines. So good, bad, I'm not really sure. In the middle, okay. Yeah, all right. So, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, your thoughts?
I don't think there's much else like it. You've got 3 lovable characters, some not so lovable, but 3 memorable characters.
Enjoyable.
Enjoyable. They're already iconic because they're in the shapes of things that you loved from childhood, such as meat and red fry box and takeaway drink cup with pink straw. So immediately something in there resonates with good times. And then, I think it's almost like a classic sitcom in the fact that, they're pretty much just at their house most of the time, not really doing it. They don't have an agenda. Something happens, and then, things ensue. And the things that happen, the characters that they meet, there's so many weird people that get involved. Carl lives right next to him. He's a pretty weird guy all on his own, and he's a human. He's like he's like the straight guy in all of this, and he's the weirdest guy to me. So I think just for me, I really like that absurdity. I like things to be strange and unpredictable, and this really does that. Takes it all the way up to 10. So I think for me, there's only going to be a thumbs up.
Wow, it's a resounding thumbs up. For me, yeah, it's hard to disagree. Really, it is one of the most unique shows we have watched, but for a good reason. Obviously, we've watched a few unique ones for the opposite, but this was certainly. In a good way. It's just ludicrous. There's going to be people that watch it that probably wouldn't get it, not necessarily because it's hard to get, but it's just so silly that not everyone's going to get along with it. But anyone that likes anything on Adult Swim is going to like it.
That's it.
It's hilarious, it's ridiculous, it's fun, the characters are ludicrous. and I cannot overstate how much I enjoyed just the dialogue. It was quick, even though it was ridiculous. It felt tight. It didn't feel like it's weird. It feels like it's improv, but it doesn't sound like it's improv.
Yeah.
Which is what's good about it, because it's it's clearly written, but it is very, very good. Yeah, a thumbs up. No disagreement from me. 2 thumbs up. A good start.
Yeah.
If you include Space Ghost, it's been all thumbs up. So far, so good. We could be onto another winning trail here.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess it's sort of like a good sequel to MTV, if that sort of like ended sort of like in around the same decade, or the shows that we watched did, at least. And then seeing what evolves from having that influence on animators and stuff.
I mean, I guess this is like the blending of MTV and Cartoon Network. This is what you get. And so far, it's really enjoyable. It will be interesting to watch it, like I say, going through the years, seeing the early stuff compared to the later stuff. Obviously, we have already watched Primal. Which, as you will know if you've listened to us before, that we absolutely adored that show. And it wasn't a comedy.
No, that was like the opposite of what Adult Swim of Aqua Teen was. So who knows what will come across on the way, and like you say, some missed the mark. So it will be really interesting to see how it turns out. Another exciting adventure, and if you've enjoyed today's episode, keep with us and see how it goes. Again, if you've enjoyed today, please go ahead and rate and review us. It really helps us out, helps other people find us. Tell a friend. Hey, Toon Jam podcast. You like cartoons, friend? You might like this. No context. Just say, like, as soon as you see them, just say Toon Jam podcast.
Toon Jam podcast
as a greeting.
Start using it as a hi.
That's it.
Oh, Toon Jam podcast.
Out with hello, in with Toon Jam podcast.
Exactly. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do on the 3 shakes of the internet at Toon Jam Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can get in touch with us with any requests you want us to make. You would like us to cover, any episodes of anything, that's a cartoon or is short. We don't want to be watching 5-hour-long episodes of anything. Not that there is any. But you can get in touch with us, or even if it's just to tell us you don't agree with us or you do agree with us, it's all cool. But most importantly, thank you for listening. As always, it's been a treat. And until next time, you stay jammy.
Hey everyone. Thank you for listening. If you want to help the show keep going, you can be extra jammy by heading over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/toonjampod. Here you can get a shout out on the show or unlock bonus episodes. Ratings and reviews anywhere you listen to the podcast also really help us out. So thank you and stay jammy.